Hello everyone, welcome to another day in Azeroth, and thank you all for joining me. I hope everybody is doing fantastic this Wednesday. What is new? What is good? I don't have the proficiency for that item. Let's go train fishing and we'll do a little bit of fishing to start things off. Last time we began our Forsaken Warrior, we got a little bit further than we are right now, and then inexplicably my power went out for the barest of moments, but it was long enough, and it took me long enough to get back in, that we died. So we re-rolled. We don't have money for fishing. How sad are we? We are very, very sad Forsaken. Yeah, we had to re-roll, and so we're basically back to where we were at prior to the reroll. John D, Empathic Nightwalker, Guitar Junkie, Denver Jack. Thank you guys very much for being here today. Alright, so since we can't fish until we have at least a silver, let's start working on the Darkhound blood. And we'll have to go after the Gloom Weed pretty soon here as well. I do have track minerals on. We picked up all of our professions. We do have our mining pick, so at least we can start working on that stuff. It's a lot of failed attempts. We don't have the Dust Bat Pelt quest yet. And I don't think they can drop the item unless we have the quest. However, they do have meaty wings, and there will be a recipe to cook their meaty wings, so we can kill some of these guys while we're looking for the hounds. Yeah, the reroll sucked, but if something really silly like that is going to happen to a character, I would much rather it happen at like level 8 or level 9 than like level 25. So I'm hoping that since it happened once, and since it's really never been an issue before, that it won't happen twice. We will see how the math works out on that. We can also head a little bit further to the west. We can work on Putrid Claws. Not really a lot of Darkhounds in this area. I wonder if these guys have any kind of social aggro. Even, I mean, they're not aggressive, but I've seen non-aggressive mobs that if you fight them too close together, they will socially aggro. Invites me to join Armada. No thanks. Let's eat a little bit of food. I did pick up first aid. We don't have any linen yet. We had been farming up linen prior to the untimely death. But now we're back to square one. And the biggest mistake I made, like, yeah, the power went out, but if I had been safely fighting just one mob, I wouldn't have died. Because I would have auto-attacked it down. Even though I had lost connection, I would have auto-attacked it down, and when I came back in, I would have been alive. The mistake I made was that I pulled two mobs. And then the power went out. So we killed the first mob, and then of course we're not gonna like change target and attack when I'm logged out, so it was the second mob that I should never have pulled that killed us. So definitely still an avoidable death, even though, you know, I couldn't control the power. There are certain things I can control, so I still think it's probably, it was probably avoidable. We had a couple close calls already, and I talked about not really wanting to fight two enemies at once, but I kept doing it. I kept doing it, chat. Look where it got us. Dan, good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us today. It's probably good morning for most of you guys. Good afternoon to the folks in the EU. Still getting used to starting the stream at this time of day. Ooh, we are getting low. Ooh, he beat us up. Well, it pulled because I got too close to it. Yeah, we pulled the second one just because I got too close. I didn't intentionally pull it, but it's still my responsibility to pull one mob safely at a time. You know, I should have just avoided a situation where I could have aggroed two mobs. Alright, level 7 is nice. That's a little bit of a power boost. Let's go turn this one in since we're right nearby the town. Let's also check the alchemy supply guy here. Maybe he'll have a couple potions for us today. He didn't have anything last time. Hello? Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm broke though. That's right. I'm so broke. I can't afford these potions. The potion could save my life. But fishing is something that I enjoy. Save my life. Or invest in something I enjoy. I am going to buy one of the potions. Okay, we are going to put that right here. I'm not likely to fat finger that one. Yeah, she didn't have any last time we checked. It shouldn't count as a death. Well, I mean, it counts as a death only because my HP hit 0. That's really the only reason why it counts. Did I set my Hearthstone here? I did.
That better be good. Dark Lady, watch over you.
This is the Murloc quest. Okay. We got a couple more things opened up when we leveled up. Deaths in the Family, Haunted Mills. We took those, we read those ones already, and then the Chill of Death is upstairs. We can grab that. I can cook some of the wolf meat, then we can just sell it to get it out of our inventory. Alright, that is everything. So yeah, let's head back to the west and kind of pick up right where we left off. We're going to go after Putrid Claws, we're going to look for Gloomweed, and we'll probably grind for a little bit to get the cloth that we were grinding for last time. We need to find at least one more bag today, and then we'll probably end up purchasing at least one bag as well. Especially if we're doing mining and blacksmithing, we're going to need a lot of inventory space. As early as we can possibly get it. John, have I seen the new version of hardcore called Ultra Hardcore Challenge? No, that sounds made up. I'm assuming it's something that somebody made up. Mr. Santa, welcome to the stream, buddy. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us today. Ultra Hardcore. Is that where you play with a blindfold on? Or no, that must be the one where you play completely in first person. That would be ultra hardcore. Play the entire playthrough in first person. I think allowances would have to be, I would say in a town or a city you can zoom out, but anytime you're out in the field you have to be first person. And that would be ultra hardcore, hardcore. No map, no health bars, no character model, no action bars. Just you gotta get, you can keybind stuff, but you can't have the action bars visible while you're playing. And the undead animations are top notch. Just wait till you see the one-hander animation. But the two-handed is actually really, really good. A lot better than something like, say, a night elf. Unfortunately, it's come to my attention that night elves have some of the worst combat animations in the game, which is a real shame. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think hardcore needs to be any harder than it already is. I feel like there's a point where you try to make it like so hard and you come up with all these arbitrary things to make it harder, and then it just kind of ends up sapping a lot of the fun out of it. It's hard, it's already hard, but it's also supposed to be like enjoyable in some way. Alright, here's the last of the gloomweed that we need. We should probably run back and turn, well, no, we don't have to rush this one back because the next leg of this is going to happen to the north, and we're not going to the north right now. So I think we'll stay here, we'll finish this quest, and then we'll see how much linen we can dredge up from these guys. Work on our first aid a little bit. Yeah, we got some healing pots, did we? Oh, nice, nice, nice. I'm glad I spent my last silver on the big one. And we're finding little ones. I am gonna put this, I'm gonna put this up here. We'll click that one. That should be okay. John, the screen starts to darken as your HP goes down and all kinds of other silly things. There are a few folks streaming it. Oh man. I'm having fun doing the regular hardcore. Your screen starts darkening, like, yeah. What does that add? Like, I don't know what that adds except like visual discomfort. It sounds like it would just create a crappy viewing experience if my screen darkened every time my HP gets low. You can already have it so that the screen gets really red. Like, you know, you get the red flashing, and that's already like a good indicator, and it also kind of like obscures you and distracts you. So I feel like the game already has that. I think people are kind of in a place with WoW, and I don't know why, because there's a lot of WoW to play. I think people are in a place where they're kind of bored with the current offerings, and people are trying to figure out ways to like keep having fun. You know, I don't know why it kind of feels that way to me. Maybe I'm just projecting. Maybe that's all I'm doing. Anxiety? Oh, it adds anxiety. Oh, I don't really feel anxiety while I'm playing hardcore. See, that doesn't really affect me. I never feel anxiety. sometimes when something crazy is going on, like my heart rate will go up a little bit, and I'll have as I have to react to like shenanigans. But when I'm just playing the game, like I don't feel anxious. If I felt anxiety when I played hardcore, I wouldn't be able to play, because I definitely play this version of the game to have a chill time. What's my favorite faction? Both factions have positive and negative things about them, both aesthetically and mechanically. So that's how I feel about the factions. They both have, in Classic especially, they just both have different things. Horde has better travel options, more flight points, convenient dungeons, and the Alliance has all of the pretty races. So it's like, do you want pretty races? Or do you want your travel to be super convenient? And do you want dungeon entrances to be super convenient? Okay, then play on Horde side. We gotta span out a bit while we farm these guys and also take on some of the Dusk Bats. But I don't think we want to go further west. I think further west they get higher level, so maybe we should go back to the east or possibly to the south here. Wayne, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for being here today. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing well. The undead using first aid's kind of funny. Just take another one's arm and put it on you. I don't know if it works like that. Maybe it does. I think they probably have specialists who can graft like arms and limbs onto you. I don't know if you could like graft it on yourself. But I mean, in a way it makes sense. I just kind of imagine them like sewing up. Oh, here we go. See, this is the situation we can't be in. We can't be fighting two of them. I imagine them like stitching up their dried skin and like patching it. Oh god, this is bad. I don't want to use my potion. I'm gonna have to use my potion. I have 3 of them on me. I think Will of the Forsaken will avoid dazes. Let's pop Will of the Forsaken and GTFO. Oh my god. Bye bye big potion. It was nice owning you for like 15 minutes. Sad to see you go. They're still chasing us. This is crazy. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm like halfway to Undercity. Whew. Yeah, being a warrior out here is scary. No way to heal. We don't have any like CC at this point. Healing potion should actually hurt the undead. Oh man. That'd put you at a severe disadvantage. It was way closer than I would like it to be. Yeah. Hardcore warrior is pretty hard. We've done warrior many times. I think the highest level we've ever gotten a hardcore warrior was like level 27. It's just tough. You don't have any heals, and you don't have a lot of ways to get out of combat. So the only way you can really survive really bad situations as a warrior is either do what we just did, which is run away really early and hope for the best. And you have to run away really early. You can't hesitate. Or later you get some DPS cooldowns, and then a lot of times your best option if you mess up and pull too much is to pop your DPS cooldowns and stand and fight and hope for the best. In either situation, you're hoping for the best, which, you know, in a hardcore situation is not good. You don't want to be hoping for the best. You want to be in control of the situation at all times. And the warrior does not allow you to control the situation. It doesn't have any tools for you to control the situation. You can DPS through it, or you can run away from it. And that's it. Unfortunately, warrior is the funnest class. So there's also that. Do I have any tips for tanking in Classic? You're new to it. I'm assuming you mean that you're new to tanking. I guess my advice would be different whether you're just new to tanking or you're new to the game in general. If you're new to the game, I would say like avoid tanking for a little bit until you get some experience. If you're just new to tanking, then I would say move at a slow to medium pace would be my best advice. Like classic dungeons, you move slower than retail dungeons, but you don't move incredibly slow anymore. People don't want you to move at like a snail's crawl, but just kind of be conscious of like how much you pull and try to learn how many mobs you can reasonably tank. If you don't know the route of a dungeon, just tell the group that right away. Just tell them, hey guys, don't know the route. And then someone in the group, like 100% of the time, someone's going to know the route. And they can just kind of point you in the right direction and you can keep pulling the mobs. Don't tank as a shaman. I mean, how many times did we tank on that shaman? We effectively tanked 3 different times, I believe. And I mean, it worked all of those times. Somehow. And then again, you know, at that time we were not playing on hardcore. So that made it okay. There was not a high cost to failure. I think once we hit level 8, I'm probably going to take us over to Durotar, and we're going to do a bunch of questing over there before we come back and finish up the higher level stuff. I don't know if I'm a pro, but I've tanked quite a bit in Classic. Especially the leveling dungeons. I've done the leveling dungeons in Classic era, like, I don't want to say thousands of times, but I feel like the number might be thousands. I don't know, it's hundreds at least. It's high hundreds. That's the Doomweed quest. Okay, now I think we're a lot closer to basically exactly where we were at quest-wise when we got killed the first time. And so where are we headed now? Let's see. That's level 11. This stuff is level 6 and 8. The Scarlet Warriors are level 8. The Pumpkins are level 7. Everything is kind of like right on the cusp. I think we'll just try to carefully head north first. And we'll do the Doomweed. We'll do the Embalming Ichor. And we'll go after these Rothides. And we'll see how that... If we feel like we're a little bit too weak to be here, we can get out of here now. And go to like Razor Hill and Senjin Village. But let's see how we feel against these guys. They're level 7, so if we don't overpull, it should be okay. Can you ever play as an undead hunter? Not in Classic. By Cataclysm? Or Mist of Pandaria? At some point they let undead be hunters and loosen up some of the class restrictions, but not in Classic era. Can't be a human hunter in Classic era either. Oh dear god. Okay, in this case, we stand and fight. Okay. Yeah, in this case, we stand and fight. I really need a throwing weapon. I'm worried that if I charge in here, I'm going to aggro this guy in the back. Yeah, I definitely did. Same thing here. I think we try to fight these guys. We gotta hope for some, like, good hits. And then we might have to pop one of our little potions. Can't really afford to keep doing this. Oh, that's nice. What is this? Spirit reduced by 2. Okay, that's not great. It's gonna cut into our regen a little bit. Yeah, I am not really feeling it. I think I'm gonna head over to Durotar. We could head to Durotar, or we can go grind for a minute. Maybe we just go grind. Maybe if we hit level 8, get some level 8 spells, then we'll feel a little bit better about what we got going on. But yeah, right now I'm just feeling like I don't want to press my luck that much. I could have body pulled him, sure. I want to either like throw a weapon or I want to charge. So like ideally I just buy some throwing weapons. Let's head the Durotar a little bit early. And maybe we'll find a good linen farm over that way. General goods guy should have some throwing knives, right? We have not a lot of silver, but we have some junk to sell. Well, they have throwing weapons. The problem is we don't have the skill. We don't have the skill, and I don't know where we get the skill from. We don't get the skill from Undercity, I don't think. But yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. One of you guys has the meaty bat wings. There we go. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we already know that. Oh, I suck. What a failure. What a good way to waste money. I didn't think we already did that. In that case, What do I need? I need mild spices. This is buff food, so we should cook this.
What is it?
Alright. Let's go cook. Let's check the Zep. The Zep is not there. Let's... should we cook these? Let's go cook and then we'll get on the Zep. As I'm facing the tower here with the camera, the Orgrimmar Zeppelin's going to be on the left, correct? And then this one over here should be... Oh no, wait. Maybe this is the Orgrimmar Tower and this is the Gromgul Tower. I think I always get them confused. In Org, we can learn throwing knives. Excellent. That's going to cost us, though. It's going to cost us quite a bit of silver that potentially I don't have right now. Do we have bows by default, like already learned? We don't have any range stuff pre-learned. Oh, that's going to make it hard. Yeah, I don't have lots of silver, so... I don't know where that should be on my priority list. I think this is it. Yeah, Orgrimmar? Okay. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Guns from Thunderbluff? I mean, I guess. It honestly strikes me as kind of a weird place to go to learn guns. But yeah, I think so. I think guns are in Thunderbluff. As weird as that is, you'd think bows would be in Thunderbluff. So then I wonder where bows are trained. I don't think any ranged weapons are trained in the Undercity at all. So maybe bows are in Orgrimmar? It feels like to me it should be the other way around, like guns should be Orgrimmar. And orc hunters should start with guns. And bows should be trained in Thunderbluff, and Tauren hunters should start with bows. But it's the other way around. Tauren hunters start with guns, and orc hunters start with bows. Which to me has always been backwards, because the orcs live side by side with goblins. And if anyone's going to be producing firearms on the Horde side, it's going to be goblins. And the orcs live in close proximity with a lot of goblins. So you think orcs would have guns. And then the Tauren would have bows. But that's not the way they decided to go. It's really strange. A troll with a gun. That is an interesting image. I wonder what a male troll with a gun looks like. So the first thing we are going to do is go grab the flight point. That's the first thing. If we had been really smart, I could have grabbed my course thread and I could have turned this quest in. That would have been really efficient. The only way I've ever been able to figure out why the Tauren have access to guns is because if you look at Mulgore, there's a lot of dwarf activity. So I always tell myself that maybe they got the weapons from the dwarfs and learned how to make them. Lore-wise, I guess that makes sense. Besides grabbing the flight point, is there anything else we need to do right now in Orgrimmar? There's no quest to pick up. Nothing really for us to train. We can't use the auction house. So I think this is all we're here for right now.
Blood and thunder.
There's a couple of quests out here. We're going to skip them for now and just head down to Razor Hill and make our way down to Sen'jin Village. We're not going to do the Valley of Trials, obviously, but I do want to do everything else. David, welcome to the stream. Good morning or good afternoon to you, and thanks for being here today. In Razor Hill, there's a quest for a bag. That's right, there's the quest for the 4-slot bag. That'll help us a little bit. I might buy one 6-slot bag, depending on how much silver we have in a little bit here. And then we'll get the 4-slot bag, and then that way, if we happen to find another 6-slot bag, at least we can replace the 4-slot with it. As a self-found character, we can't use the auction house, the mailbox, or trading.
What do you need? Suck.
There we go. That is the quest for the 4-slot bag. Let's go grab this other one, and then, I mean, we could go do that quest right now, or could we? It's a level 7 quest. For the canvas scraps, we can actually get those from the humans, or we can get them from the centaur. I don't think there's any reason to rush it. If we wanted to buy a bag, that would cost us every single silver that we currently have, so I'm going to hold off on that as well. And we'll just try to make sure that our inventory is as light as possible before heading out.
Do you need? Or the horde? Down. Speak, friend. Be safe.
We could probably just fight the ones outside the keep and finish this quest, and then we could go back later to get Lieutenant Benedict. I don't think I want to go into the keep at this level, because it can get pretty sketchy. Yeah, let's go see if we can just do this one. That'll give us a little bit more inventory space before we head down to Sen'jin Village. Did I pick up mining and blacksmithing? Yeah, we got all of our professions, except for fishing. Fishing, I have the fishing rod, but we have not trained yet, because I have not had the money. Should be a fishing trainer down near the Sen'jin Village questing. We have a level 12 troll priest here. It's going to be a little bit of competition. Level 12 is pretty impressive to be tackling this quest. That means they're 5 levels above it. It's pretty safe. We've got some copper back here. Alright, that's level 8. That'll give us a bit of an edge. And we'll also have some abilities to train once we make it back to town. Two guys at level 5, we should be fine. And we can use Cannibalize to get some HP back quickly. That is a level 6 priest. They are even younger than we are. Alright, that is 8 out of 8. Let's get out of here for now. We'll turn this in. We'll grab the bag. We will train a level 8. And then we will head down to Senjin Village. The scorpion stingers these guys drop we can use for cooking. This guy should have the recipe we need. There we go. Oh, we need 20. Skill level 20. We'll get there soon-ish. Well, there we go. That's 4 more inventory slots that we desperately need. We're still sitting at 5 silver, 25 copper. We don't really have a lot we can sell. Ooh, let's go to the warrior trainer and grab our level 8 stuff. What do we get at level 8? Another rank of heroic strike and hamstring. We definitely need those. We're probably going to be using a lot of hamstring.
Blood and thunder. Go forth to victory.
So rank 2 of heroic strike is applied automatically to the hotbar. Let's grab hamstring. That can go here. We need to cross our fingers for like a green sword drop. There's typically green training swords, at least they're called training swords. And they look a little bit like fishing rods, but they're typically green and they'll have like 1 strength or 1 agility or 1 stamina on them. And I'm really hoping we see one of those drop. In Classics, you can be an undead hunter. Not in Classic Era, you can't. I think I said earlier, you can be a hunter, an undead hunter in Cataclysm Classic, and in Mop Classic, you can be an undead hunter, but not in Vanilla Era Classic. Not in the version of the game that I'm playing right now. Unfortunately, there are lots of different versions of Classic that exist. So when you Google something and you type into Google, can I do this or can I be this in WoW Classic, Google AI has to look at like a bunch of different versions of Classic that have existed. So you're not always going to get the correct information for the right version. What are the icons up by Battle Shout? One of them is indicating that we're a self-found. Actually, they both have to do with being self-found. There's a buff specifically for self-found, and then for some reason the self-found characters get the Soul of Iron. I don't know why. I think it's just something that was carryover from when Soul of Iron was put into Season of Mastery or something. I'm not sure why we need to have both of them. It's kind of weird. Bobby McBee, thank you so much for the 6 months of support. I really appreciate that, and thanks for hanging out with us today. What did the Soul of Iron buff do in Season of Mastery? It just indicated that you were a hardcore character, that's all. Because in Season of Mastery they put the Soul of Iron buff in, but the Season of Mastery wasn't really about the hardcore challenge. But they put it in as a way for people to indicate that they were a hardcore character. And then I'm supposing that if you had this, I think you didn't lose the character, but if you died you would lose the buff. Something about like, yeah, when you died you would lose the buff. And after you died, I don't think you can get the buff back, so it just indicated that you were a living hardcore character, from what I understand. I was right, Google failed you? Yeah. I'm sorry. I already knew I was right. Well, that's not bad. We grinded out about half a bar of XP just on the way down to Senjin Village. Kind of like to take the approach that I'm gonna fight everything as long as it gives me kill XP. And or if I need like cooking stuff from it. If I can get cooking stuff and kill XP, then that's even better, obviously. Hey, this is my scorpion. Oh, that's so rude. I didn't ask for your help. This scorpion was no threat to the town. I had it completely under control. It's funny how I assumed they Googled it and it's what they did. Yeah, I mean, I knew what they did, right? Whenever we have a question nowadays, we typically just ask Google. And a lot of times Google has a lot of information as long as you know specifically what information you're looking for. But with Google, you have to be very specific. Like if you would have put in, can you be a Forsaken Hunter in Classic Era Classic, it would have came back and told you no. But since you were not specific enough, it said yes, sure, you can absolutely be undead hunters in Classic WoW. Classic WoW.
Later, okie-dokie. Who you be? Be seeing ya.
Greetings, man.
Alright, let's go grab this guy's quest, and then we'll start going after the Makura and the little crabs that wander the beach.
What you want?
We might be good to head out to the island and do that stuff. We'll do everything else first, and we'll see if we reach a level where I think we can do the island. Maybe we save the island for our second trip. After we do a bunch more stuff in Tirisfal Glades. That would probably be safer if we split each zone into 2 different trips. Kind of tackle it as like the first half of the zone, second half of the zone. And good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us today. We'll get to take advantage of our racial ability here. We have a breath bar that lasts 300% longer than any other race in the game. And for hardcore, it's probably one of the best racials. At least in my opinion. Talon, good morning to you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Hope you are doing well. Is starting self-found better for hardcore? I wouldn't say it's better. It's just a difference in like how hardcore do you want things to be. With hardcore self-found, you're excluded from using the auction house and the mailbox and trading. And a lot of times I feel like cutting the auction house out kind of takes away a big part of the game. Sometimes the game is about the economy, and some people really like to play with the economy, and that's part of leveling a character for them. So it really depends on like what you're looking for. I think it's good for hardcore because it offers a slightly different experience. It makes melee characters harder. That's really the upshot, because melee characters really depend on having good weapons, and it creates a lot more challenge for something like a warrior. You like getting traded bags. Yeah, it's always nice when you start up a character and somebody walks up to you and gives you stuff. Yeah. Yeah, mages, any caster is gonna have a better time in self-found. Because in Classic Era, most of your spell power comes from the spell rank itself. And you're not really getting spell power from your gear. So you could have really, really bad gear, gear you've made yourself, gear that's like medium, and you can do really well, because most of your attack power comes from your spell itself. Whereas on a melee class, most of your attack power comes from the DPS on the weapons. On the official hardcore servers, when you do a self-found character, they disable the auction house and trading and the mailbox. You don't have the option to break that. Once you've created the self-found character on these servers, you're excluded from those things. It's not on like an opt-in, opt-out toggle or anything like that. There is an NPC to change it, then what's the point of it? My question is like, if I can go to the NPC and toggle it off and go use the auction house, I'm assuming I can't toggle it back on. Maybe that's the caveat. There should not be a way to toggle it on and off. If there is a way to toggle it on and off, then obviously one could have it on, one could go to the auction house, turn it off, go to the auction house, buy a bunch of loot, and then turn it back on. And that doesn't seem right to me, because that kind of defeats the entire spirit of the self-found mode itself. So I'm hoping if there is a way to turn it off, that once you do that, there's no way to get it back. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't think there should be a way to turn it off at all. Yeah, I know in Season of Mastery I think you could, but I thought that, you know, with this being the official hardcore server, I don't think this goes on and off. I mean, it'll go off when you die, and then you can send yourself to like a normal realm, but Because you don't go to an NPC in this version of the game to get this buff. You get this buff by clicking the box in character creation that says self-found. So I don't think that there, once you click it in character create, I don't know if there would be a way to flip it off. Once you get to 60, you can remove it. See, that makes sense. That makes sense, I guess. Kind of. I guess I'm more okay with being able to remove it at 60. But still, there should be no way to turn it back on, obviously. And it's also probably one of those Google things, like we were talking about earlier. If you Google, can I turn off the Soul of Iron? You're gonna get the answer to come back as yes, because you know on Season of Mastery you could do that. Maybe at level 60 you can do that. So if you just ask Google, you know, can I turn on and off the Soul of Iron? It's probably gonna say, oh yeah, of course you can. But if you were to phrase the question on the official hardcore server of Doomhowl, can I turn on and off my Soul of Iron buff? Then the answer to that's probably going to come back no. People will be like, oh, Google gave me bad info. And it's like, yeah, Google gave you bad info, but you typed a bad search. Your search was not specific enough. And so Google gave you the info that it could. It'd be nice if self-found characters could get 4 professions instead of 2. That would be neat. If by selecting self-found you opened up some more professions for yourself. It'd be nice to be able to do more gathering professions to help support some things. Because, you know, for like blacksmithing, you do need some leather. And things like that. And so like to get leather now, we kind of rely on either fishing it up. Sometimes you find leather in chests, but if I can grab some more professions, I could take skinning. Speaking of professions, we need to train fishing. There we go. We finally just barely have the money to do that. We have all the crawler mucus we need. We're looking for more Makura eyes. Oh yeah, see everybody, if you could do more, you're right, everybody would take tailoring for bags. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe that would make self-found almost too easy. I don't know. I think you still have to put in the effort to level up the profession, so I think it'd be okay. Fun fact, the Makura clackers are humanoids. I know, and it's so creepy. I don't like it. I don't like that they're called humanoids. I don't like how humanoid they are. These guys have always freaked me out. Like, some people have a problem with spiders in games. I have a problem with these guys. I have a problem with crustaceans. Like human-sized, human-shaped, upright crustaceans. I don't like upright human-sized crustaceans, it turns out. It invokes a certain kind of like primordial fear in me that I don't have for spiders. Because you're talking about something that's basically a living tank with weaponry attached to it that can probably cleave me right in half, or at least chop off an arm. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of these guys. Oh, there we go. We have all the eyeballs we need. We still have 6 inventory spots. Maybe we can go out to these little islands and see if we'll have any luck with the eggs or the tiger pelts we need. We don't have to go to the main island. I don't think we're ready to take on the trolls yet. But let's go scout around for some easy pelts, maybe some easy eggs. We've seen some players in the area, but not too many. We might get lucky. Oh yeah, look at that, we're finding eggs right away. These eggs are notoriously hard to find, even though we only need 3 of them. I see a troll mage. Also level 8, also working in this area. No doubt they are looking for the same things that we are. Let's beat them to this tiger. They're probably going for these eggs, if I had to guess. Or maybe not. No, they don't seem interested in the eggs. Perhaps they haven't seen the eggs. Well, I'm going for it. I gave them a chance to run in here and grab these, but they didn't do it. I was assuming they were clearing the raptor so that they could, but I've been wrong before, so we'll grab the egg and move on. Maybe they're only looking for tigers. Some of these far southern islands I've never been on. I don't know if I've ever been down this far along this chain of islands. It's kind of like unfamiliar territory. I've often gone out to the other big islands, but I don't typically come this way. Oh, here's some more eggs. These will be the last eggs we need if we can snag these. That'd be awesome. That might be the fastest I've ever completed this quest. At least the tigers and raptors don't swim. That's a good point. If you pull too much and you need to get away, it's easy to evade bug them, make them reset. Yeah, we heard about the ultra hardcore thing earlier today. I don't know what to think about it, but I haven't checked it out, so I should probably reserve any final judgments for if and when I see it myself. I think that things like that just kind of go to show you that people are kind of in a lull and they're kind of bored with things in WoW right now and they're looking for something different, which is weird because there's a lot of content out and a lot of versions of the game, but I do sense that generally people are looking for something different. And I think that's when you get weird things like the ultra hardcore add-on. But maybe we'll check it out at some point and see what it's about. I just don't think that if it's something where it's like adding annoying little things to the game just to cause anxiety, like that's not going to make it more fun for me, because I don't get anxious. I don't get stressed out when I play this game. I don't feel lots of anxiety, and I'm not going to fake anxiety and fake that for content. Because yeah, like I play carefully, I do my best, but I don't tend to freak out. And so if it's an add-on designed to create anxiety, like it's just going to be like detrimental to the viewing experience and not necessarily making it any more exciting for me. There we go. That's level 9. We still need... What do we need? We need 2 more tiger furs. They're not dropping a lot. Maybe immersion-wise it's interesting. Well, that's kind of my point, is if it's not affecting me, it's not creating more immersion. Like, if the things that the add-on is doing are not really effectual on me, then it's not going to create more immersion, it's just going to create visual clutter. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like something to do for content, but I'm happy doing this. We'll check it out at some point. Maybe if this character goes down for any reason, maybe we'll fire it up on the next character just to see what it is. I'll probably end up disabling it though, but we can check it out. The only thing I learned about it for sure is that it darkens the screen and whatnot when you're low on health and stuff like that, so... There you go, a shock collar that shocks you when you take damage. That could make it immersive, I suppose. If you find human torture immersive, which some people must. I don't know if I want to put that kind of content out there, but there's an idea for somebody. Maybe we should work back this way now. There's one more island down here, and I'm just kind of curious. I mean... What could be hiding down here? Daryl, thank you for being here and for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you are doing well. When you were the victim of a critical hit, your screen veers off in a random direction, like your camera turns. Like, Yeah, it just seems like annoying visual effects seems to be the basis of the add-on. Yeah, see, that's just annoying. Yeah, I wonder if for like a viewing experience, if that would just get annoying. We'll find out eventually. I don't know if like installing it right now and firing it up for this character would be a good idea. It probably couldn't hurt. Maybe we would just get killed. Let's see. Ultra hardcore. I love that it's called the ultra hardcore add-on. It's not called like immersive hardcore or anything like that. It's just like ultra hardcore. You want really hard hardcore? This is the hardest of all cores. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Classic. Browse. Ultra hardcore. I'm assuming all one word. Nope, nope, nope. Ultra hard. There we go. Ultra hardcore. Install. It just kills your character right away. Like you install it and then your character's HP drops to 0 and you die. Super mega ultra hardcore. Okay. Let's see what happens. Boop. It's probably just gonna delete me. I have installed the ultra hardcore add-on. That's why we're doing a reload. Welcome to Ultra Hardcore. For the best experience, we recommend disabling all other add-ons, nope, and using a new character, nope, if you're playing for the first time. The goal of this add-on is to fully immerse you in the game world. It's ideal for solo play or for grouping with others who are also using the add-on. Feel free to adjust the settings to customize your experience and make it as enjoyable as possible, which probably won't be very enjoyable. You can connect with other players using the add-on on our dedicated Discord server. Oh my god. Hide play. Look at all that. Do they run with all these on? So the people that are doing this. Hide player frame. Okay. Death indicator. Tunnel vision. All right. Default UHC game options. I don't know what that means. Hide target frame. Oh dear god, no. Hide nameplates. We've done hide nameplates before. I've done playthroughs where I've turned off nameplates and I've turned off floating names. I wonder if this doesn't seem to turn off floating names. Hide group health. Show dazed effects. Hide targeting tooltip. Like, okay. I don't know. Let's just do the full thing. Do I get to have an action bar? Where's my action bar? Chat. Chat, I can't see my action bar. What is this here? Like, what is this supposed to be? Anybody know what that is? Okay. Alright, let's see if we can still play the game. Uh-oh. Oh, this is my rage. Oh, this is something. I don't know what this is. Oh no. What's going on? Oh shit. I mean I can play the warrior in my sleep, but oh man. Okay. And so like right now I don't have any way to see even out of combat. Like I guess that little pulse we got must have meant I was full on HP. I think we got a pulse there at the edge of the screen when I was full on HP. How do I set up my action bar? Like right now I don't get to have one, which is fine. I wonder if when I go to my spellbook if I'm gonna have an action bar. Oh, I can see my buffs at least. They let me see if I have heroic shout up. So that's good. The screen will go dark. Yeah, I mean the screen got darker. I want to know when I'm topped off. There we go. Yeah, when we get topped off, it flashes green around the edge. Okay, okay. Very good. The action bar becomes visible in rested areas, or you can choose it to be visible the whole time. So the people who are streaming this, let me ask, are they leaving their action bars on, or are they doing this? Because I just left everything checked when I fired up the add-on, and this is what we got. Do I have an inventory? Okay, we can still see our inventory. So, oh, speaking of our inventory, oh, we gotta get out of here. It did recommend that we disable all of our other add-ons. That could be an interesting experiment. That could be very interesting. I think it probably would be served best on a new character, but I'm gonna keep it on for a minute here and just see how it functions. But I am curious how other people are using it. If they're doing the whole package, or if they're just like picking and choosing the bits and pieces they want. I think we're done with this one. I'm surprised they didn't go a step further. Like I said, ooh, we are looking dark, guys. I don't like how dark we look there. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. They disable all add-ons, including Questy. Some activate damage numbers, but that's it. Yeah, damage numbers. Oh yeah, because you know, like because I want to see my crits. Okay. I want to see my crits. So like, I guess I should figure that out. Like, how do I get the damage numbers up? Oh Jesus. Because I don't mind not seeing the health of the mob, but I would like to see when I get a crit, because that's like part of the endorphins, you know. I see that I can see when I'm taking damage. Oh, we could die at any moment, and we wouldn't know. I think, like, for this to work, I think action bar comes back. I think action bar comes back, target damage comes back. Is I think how I would do it. Where is this thing? This thing's options are like nowhere. Maybe I can get to it from here. Well, they don't make it easy to get into the options for this thing, do they? It's in my main menu. Oh, shit. They did make it easy. They made it so easy that I couldn't figure it out. Okay. Pets die permanently. Oh my god. Let's give us our action bars back. I don't see anywhere to show my damage numbers. Hide nameplates, hide player frames, hide target tooltip. What is this default UHC game options? I don't know what that is. Okay. Show incoming damage. Show full health indicator. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to have my action bar. Click on recommended and see what that checks. That's a decent idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's see. Maybe it started at recommended. Okay. Okay. So on recommended, it turns off the shift screen on crits, which we haven't seen that yet, but we'll leave that off. Action bars are on. Pets don't die. Full health indicator happens. Show incoming damage effects. Like, they have that recommended as off, so maybe we'll leave that off. Let's check it out on recommended for a while. See how that feels. I feel like maybe people that are also streaming it, maybe they're playing. Oh, we don't have a mini map. Oh god, at least we have a map. And then it said people were disabling their add-ons, like disabling their other add-ons. I'm gonna keep Baganator because come on, like really. I'm gonna keep Dialogue UI because I like the quest to look pretty. I can get rid of maps, I can get rid of Leatrix, that's okay. Minimap button kind of needs to be there though. Narcissist I'm going to keep because it's just like a pretty way to look at the game when I'm AFK. World buffs I don't need. Open Sesame I don't need. Questy I don't need. Recount I don't need. Syndicator I don't need. We want Blue Shamans I'm going to keep. What's training? I mean, it's a nice to have. So, but I can disable it. You can now change your title to Ultra Hardcore. You're damn straight I can. You're damn straight I can. With all caps, obviously. Because if you spell Ultra without all caps, then what kind of loser are you? Okay. What am I going to take out? There we go. Boom. Ultra Hardcore is now in the title. And then I guess I have to make some updates to my add-ons list. We got Baganator on. We got Dialogue UI. And Ultra Hardcore. Okay. Boop. Boop. Syndicator. Oh, okay. Syndicator is required in order to use Baganator. I gotta keep Baganator, right? I mean, who wants to look at the default bags? Oh, jeez. Okay. There we go. We got no mini-map. We got no quest help. We've got no icons on the map. We've got no V-bars. We've got no indicator of mob HP. And we have no frames to represent our own health either. If you want damage numbers, go into the main menu, not the add-on. Oh, did it? Okay. I turned my floating text off. Options, combat. My text is on. Options, combat, show target a target. Enable floating combat text is on. I'm not really sure what else I would tell the game to do to show the combat text. Show target damage. I got it. That's so weird. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for getting me there. Alright, we should be good now. I do want to see my crits, because again, as a warrior especially, it's always exciting to see when the big crits go off. That being said, I think we can get out of here now. I'm pretty sure that we've completed... We got the eggs. Oh, we didn't get our tiger furs? Oh my god, how many tigers have I killed? Apparently not enough. I personally think it darkens the screen way before we're really in danger. It's hard to believe that our health is that low. There should be... I wish you can open your character menu maybe and check your HP. It's really something to get used to not being able to check my HP. I think that alone adds a certain level of challenge. You can check your lowest HP in the add-on and options. Oh god, that could be scary. It turns out we're getting down to like 2% and stuff. Alright, we got all of our tiger furs and our inventory is full, so we absolutely must get out of here and head back to town ASAP. Oh, here we go. See, we're only getting down to 63%. In my opinion, it shouldn't mess with your screen at all until you've hit 50%. I think 50% would be a better, like, percentage for it to start to darken the screen. 60% is okay. I wish you could adjust that, like, specifically go in and adjust when you get the alert. Like, when it's gonna darken. You know what? I'm not seeing the flash when we're back to full health. Maybe I turned that off by mistake. And I would like very much to see that. Yeah, show full health indicator. I need that one on. That should be on by, that should be recommended. If you can't see your health, it's nice to know when you've topped yourself off. Not having a mini map or any map markers is also really strange. We got our really sticky glue. We are going to be using that. At some point we will have to use it, so let's drag it out to the action bar. Let's vendor all of our junk before we do anything else. Oh, yeah, we don't have a Leatrix, so it's not automatically selling our junk anymore. Do you think Leatrix would be okay to have? I feel like Leatrix would be okay to have. All we really use Leatrix for is to show us like flight timers and to vendor our junk automatically and to grab automatic repairs. I guess anything automatic is not really in the spirit of immersion, but I mean, come on. I feel like that's basically all we can do. I don't know if I'm gonna really need the Tiger's Eye and the Shadow Gems. I think sometimes we'll make weapons and the weapons will need this stuff, but for weapons we also need a little bit of leather and we don't have leather anyway. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold on to these. Maybe we can put them in the bank next time we are in town. We have lots of boar meat we can cook. Let's go cook that. We can sell it and get it out of the inventory ASAP. It looks like I automatically joined a UHC channel. I did. Yeah, we did. I wonder, Let's see. Wonder what kind of shenanigans go on in this channel, if it's going to be a channel I can actually leave on, or if it's going to be a channel that I don't want you guys to see. Galarak, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the stream, and thanks for joining us today. This NPC's pathway takes him right through the fire, and he actually takes fire damage while he walks through it.
Won't be shy. Good to meet ya.
If we had like an anvil or something, we could do a little bit of smelting, but I have not seen an anvil. I don't know how much blacksmithing the trolls actually do. Let's head over into the centaur area and we will go after the centaur attack plans. It's still not consistently showing my damage numbers. I don't know if something got reset. But yeah, it's still not consistently showing them. Yeah, it got unchecked. I wonder what keeps unchecking it. Okay, let's try that again. It makes you guys nervous not being able to see my health. Yeah. I think this add-on has some good ideas. There are some things that I like that I think could add immersion to a playthrough. And then there's some things that I'm not really sure how much immersion it adds, or if it just causes friction. Sometimes friction equals immersion, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like for a video game, not being able to see your health or the enemy's health is not great. Like, not seeing the enemy's health is kind of okay. Not being able to see your own health is not good. You think this creates artificial excitement because you never know if you're gonna die? I mean, in that sense, it's not artificial. If you feel the excitement, it's not artificial excitement. You know what I mean? Because feelings, they are already what they are. So if this causes you to feel excitement, then it's real. Then it's really happening. It is something that is obviously trying to create uncertainty, and uncertainty can lead to excitement, and it can lead to engagement for some people. For other people, it could just lead to an overwhelming anxiety, which may not be for everybody. Like, I don't get anxious, so I don't mind. Yeah, John, we're trying it out. I just want to see like what it is, you know? And at this level, it's not really that impactful. Man, I just came up in here and I took the quest item and I took that chest. I am a jerk. Is the sledgehammer in my inventory better than my current weapon? Two-handed. Yeah. But I can't equip it because I don't know maces. We gotta get out to either Orgrimmar or Thunderbluff for maces, and the biggest part of that is we need 9 silver. It's 9 or 10 silver to train. We just hit 9 silver for the first time. So right now I'm pretty much limited to swords for the time being. And also then, like, with this add-on, like, people who are very familiar with the game and very familiar with the class are at an incredible advantage to somebody who's less familiar with the game or less familiar with their class. Because I know what level these guys are for the most part compared to me. But if you're a person acting out of a place where you don't have knowledge, then not having knowledge is going to make this incredibly difficult for you. A bag dropped. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the call out. That's awesome. We were hoping that another bag would drop. And I haven't spent money on any of my bags yet, so this character has had better luck with bags, at least, than the first character. And better luck with power outages so far. It's that ultra luck. Yes, exactly. That's got to be what it is. It's got to be related. There was ore behind me. Oh my god, guys, that's right. Without my mini-map, I can't look for ore. My god, how am I going to do blacksmithing like this? I feel like the thing this does most, it's gonna impact my blacksmithing more than anything else. That's what I feel like. It's gonna impact my blacksmithing more than anything else. And I think that might be the thing I like about it the least. Alright, chat, it's up to you guys. As I pan through these environments, yell at me if you see any ore that I miss. And maybe we would have to start developing some kind of strategies to make sure we're not constantly missing all of the ore. Because yeah, that does suck. Okay. See, now in this situation, usually I'd be making a determination whether or not we can fight or not. Since I don't know my HP, I have to pop a potion, and then I have to hope that's going to be enough. to see us through. We'll cannibalize right after this. There was an ore all the way back in the back on the right behind the tent. Okay, I'm gonna go look. Who knows if it's still there? I will, I'll do a poll in a little bit, guys. As far as like how we're feeling about the add-on. I'm gonna play with it for a while. Because I don't think there's a lot of risk to using it at this level. We're relatively safe. All the quests we're doing are kind of safe. And then I'll do a poll in a little bit to see how you guys feel. I could take it or leave it. Yeah, it looks like if there was ore back here, I'm not seeing it. It's possible that... Oh, shoot, I spoke too soon. I just can't look. Yeah. Thank you. You were totally right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just trust you guys. See, if I were designing an ultra immersive hardcore add-on, I would have it take the names off, so you would not see any floating names, but you would see the health bar once you're in combat. That's kind of what I used to do to create more immersive hardcore, is we would turn off floating names. But then once you were in combat with something, you could see its health and everything like that. It's just that when you were walking around out in the field, it made it a lot more dangerous to walk around, because typically you're tipped off to the presence of enemies by their names at a distance and around corners and stuff like that. And without the names, a lot of enemies and creatures kind of blend into the environment. And for me, that made hardcore a lot more immersive and a lot more dangerous. But we would still see the enemy's health when we were fighting it. And I feel like that works a lot better for gameplay. And yeah, walking around in places like the Echo Islands where all the trolls are at without floating names gets really scary really fast. And so I feel like they should have considered that. That would be a more immersive thing that would not affect the game as much as taking away the health entirely, but leaving the floating names. Did I already get the recipe for scorpion stingers? Yeah, but I don't know if I had ever learned it. I didn't learn it. We didn't have 20 skill when I bought it. There we go. We can cook those too now. Thank you for the reminder. Let's take the cloak.
Spirits be with you, man.
Alright, I think now we're going back to Razor Hill. We're gonna save the island stuff. We still have to get Machina's skull, we have to go after Zalazane and his trolls, but we're gonna hold off on that stuff. until later on. Probably the second visit back here. Then we'll head down and tackle the island. So yeah, I think for my immersion, I would turn off nameplates. I would turn off the minimap. I would turn off quest tracking. So like I like that stuff. I like the quest tracking's off. There's no minimap. I think that's good. You do that. You take away the floating names. You leave the health of the character and the health of the mob. I feel like that's fine. We could probably go into this keep and take out the name guy now. We're level 9. Bound to be level 10 fairly soon. Let's give it a go and see if we feel like it's safe. Looks like someone's been through here. At least the entrance here is cleared out already. I see some bodies. I don't see any bodies here, which means we're about to get respawns down here. Looks like we are going to be waiting for a respawn. I can't group in this mode. I can group, yeah. I can group, but that fight happened so fast. We came in and they were already fighting them. I'm assuming if they really, really wanted to invite me, they would have to do that because they are in a group, so I can't invite them. I was just kind of at the mercy of whether or not they were going to invite me before the mob died, and they didn't. We can grab this item that starts a quest. Oh no, we can't because we don't have the key yet. Obviously. And we have a chest here too. Plans for a copper chain vest. Okay. I mean, we are going to do blacksmithing, so that could be good. Yeah, it is nice. Now we actually have to get our blacksmithing going. Because so far we have not done any blacksmithing at all. I think we aggroed her. Yeah, we definitely did. Oh, we got light leather too. That's really good because we'll need a little bit of light leather if we want to make any weapons. Damien, good morning to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well today. You just realized there's no mini-map. Yeah, there's no mini-map. There's no markers on the map. Could I say hi to Samantha Harris? Sure. Hello, Samantha. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. For me, the most jarring thing is not having my health and the enemy health. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it's the only part of this that I don't like so far. I think they have some cool ideas, but I don't think taking away my health or the enemy's health is necessarily great. I understand what it's doing. I just don't know that I like it. It might be the only thing I don't like. I love the idea of making it more immersive. I think taking away the names, I'd rather just take away the floating names and give me my own HP and the enemy HP back when I'm actually in combat with them. Hardcore is hard enough without taking away health bars. Well, yeah, absolutely, right? It is absolutely hard already without doing anything to make it more challenging. Yeah, the add-on seems to... It must really be targeting people who have played a ton of hardcore and people who are very, very familiar with the game. because you need a lot of knowledge to have this ever work. You at least need to have an understanding of the level of the enemies in the different parts of the world. Because on top of not being able to see the enemy's HP, you can't see the enemy's level. You have no way that I have discerned to check the level of an enemy. And so you need knowledge to use this add-on. Or you're going to be doing a lot of Googling, and it seems like it would be a huge pain in the butt to have to Google, like, every time you get to a new area, like, what level is this mob? What level is that mob? Also, Googling it and finding out through an external means would completely invalidate the experience it's trying to offer, but I think my knowledge does that too. Like, my knowledge of what level the mobs are, like, generally at least, compared to where I'm at, like, I think that invalidates part of the add-on. Just like looking up the information would. Alex, I'm doing great. Thanks for being here and for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. We are actually pretty close to hitting level 10. Very, very close.
What can I help you with?
You can buy all my junk. But we gotta find a place where we can do some smelting and do some blacksmithing while we are here. Let's also do our cooking. We'll have to do some first aid. They have to have some anvils over here. Yep. It would make Hunter's beast lore useful. Oh, that's a good point. It really would make beast lore useful. Let's smelt first. We have 18 copper to smelt. It's entertaining, but would probably be frustrating to actually play. I think for most people it would be frustrating to play. The only frustration that I'm seeing right now is that it's going to be really hard to level up my mining if I don't have a mini-map to show me where the mining nodes are at. That's like what I'm worried about most. I'm less worried about like fighting stuff, and I'm more worried about how am I going to find copper. Let's make some sharpening stones. We could definitely use those on our weapon for a little bit of increased DPS. Yeah, the resource nodes are going to be a huge pain. I mean, and that's, you know, it is what it is. I guess we could, technically you could say we could do a lot of our mining inside of caves. Like, we know that there will be ore in caves most of the time. Caves are obviously very dangerous and hardcore. So I really don't know how that's going to work out long term. Yeah, I know generally where you can find them. It's more like seeing them is the hard part, you know, just like catching sight of them. Sometimes they're hidden pretty well, and the only way you know to go looking is by seeing the marker on the minimap. Okay, let's just make the bracers here. I think mainly I'm gunning for skill ups at this point. We mainly just need skill ups. I would think that herbs would be easier to find, because a lot of times you're gonna find herbs like out in the field, like just in the flat expanses, whereas a lot of the ore is hidden around like hills, around like nooks and crannies in the corners of mines. I feel like herbalism would probably be a little bit easier to like do this without the mini-map. Oh yeah, Dan, you assume the breath meter is also disabled. It very well might be. Yeah, that's a good assumption. No breath meter. Yeah, I mean, we're an undead, so for us, it matters a lot less because we have 300% more breath than anybody else. But yeah, that's probably gonna hurt a lot of people. These are an upgrade. Let's equip one of these. We'll sell the rest. Okay, what are we looking at now? Break a few eggs. Oh, this is a turn-in somewhere. Where do we turn this one in? Practical prey. Oh my gosh, I totally missed a turn-in back down in Senjin Village. Oh my god. Already, like, I'm like half an hour without the map and half an hour without the icons, and I've already missed a turn-in. So sad. We could have already hit level 10. I'm gonna have to go back and turn this one in. I think I'm gonna do from the wreckage. We'll get this one turned in, and then I think we might be going back to Tirisfal Glades after that. Doing some more stuff in Tirisfal Glades. We got a warrior quest. Veteran Uzek. The Horde honors its warriors because their strength is unquestioned, but the truly great warriors are great students as well. Seek out Uzek. He is a veteran of many battles and now instructs young warriors in the ways of combat. You will find him south of Farwatch Post, the Orc garrison on the border of the Barrens, and Durotar to the east. We'll do that whenever we get around to it, buddy. Rend rank 2. Blood Rage. Generates rage at the cost of HP. We might use that sometimes. I don't like using that all the time, for obvious reasons. Let's put that here. Let's get Rend rank 2 automatically updated, so we're good there. The question is if I really want to do the Durotar class quest or the Tirisfal one. I don't know. What's the difference? If loot is the difference, then I want to do the one with the better loot for me. If there's no difference, then I guess I don't really care. Basically, the only way it matters right now is if, like, if one quest gives a sword or something and the other one gives, like, a mace, then I would want to do the one with the sword, but failing that, then it really doesn't matter, I don't think. And again, the damage output numbers are gone. Yeah, you're right. They are gone. I wonder why they keep turning themselves off. That's really annoying. Stuff like that will really annoy me. Like, over time. Yeah, they do keep turning themselves off for some reason. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't like that. It seems like every once in a while something the add-on does Like maybe it refreshes and it keeps turning it off. I think it just turned it off. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, I don't care for that. I really would like my damage numbers just to stay on. YouTube keeps hiding the streams from you. Alan, I'm not sure why it would do that. Maybe do you have restricted mode turned on? Yeah, I don't know why. All I can think is if it's really hiding them from your feed, then it could be a restricted mode issue. You know, they put new AI stuff into YouTube, and so the new AI stuff is meant to look at the activity on your YouTube account, and then it determines whether or not you are a child. And if it happens to think that you are a child, it will begin hiding some content that is not for children. So I guess this comes into play, like if you have a child that uses your YouTube account for whatever reason, then it could start to pick up the account as something that a kid is obviously using, and then it could start to hide other content that you would be interested in. That's really the only other thing I could think of. Top of Mesa, thank you. Copper ore, thanks. Yeah, if you guys spot any copper that I don't see, let me know, because otherwise I'm never going to find copper with this on. Yeah, the AI stuff will work regardless of whether restricted mode is on or not, though. So the new AI stuff, like, that's going to be active no matter what. That's unfortunately a different thing than the restricted mode, and you can't turn it on or off, so. But yeah, there has been, and I've seen this from other creators, Bellular has a video talking about it on his news channel, but the algorithm changes to YouTube, there have been changes to the YouTube algorithm. Nobody knows exactly what's going on, but most creators on YouTube, when they made these changes, like everybody saw their views drop. Everybody's view numbers kind of went down right around the same time that they talked about these AI changes coming to the algorithm. So they've done something to the algorithm, and it really hasn't been good for creators. And my channel has definitely been affected by whatever it is. Yeah, Alex, you haven't been seeing my videos at all for the past 2 weeks. Today you did. Yeah, and I've been putting out recorded content, like, for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, they definitely... Josh Strife Hayes explained it pretty well. Yeah, I saw a little bit, I think it was a tweet of his that I saw part of. Yeah, it's affecting everybody, and it's weird, and it's very unwelcome, and it's not good. It's been a tough... Because, like, when you're a creator and you see your numbers dip, you start looking for solutions. You start looking for, like, why are the numbers down? What, if anything, can I do to get the numbers back up where they should be? What have I done recently that could have brought them down? But when the problem is not something you've done, but a change that's been made on the back end of the algorithm, then you're powerless. There's absolutely nothing you can do. Suddenly the algorithm has stopped pushing your content to people. Even people who have frequented your channel are not seeing the content. And so yeah, my numbers are in the toilet. They've been in the toilet for the past 4 or 5 weeks. The rewards are the same for the warrior quest. You can choose between axe, mace, dagger, or sword. Okay, cool. Oh, they're all one-handed. Ooh. Ooh, if it's a good one-hander, then we'll toss on a shield. It's probably going to be better than what we have, no matter what it is. Because what we have is kind of garbage. I guess, I mean, maybe some of you guys have already done this and it's still not notifying you, but I guess I would say with like any creators that you follow that you want to see when their content goes live, you have to ring the bell. Like, otherwise, I think a lot of times for a lot of you guys, like the feed is going to stop showing you things that you actually want to see, and it's going to start showing you other stuff. So I would say, like, if you have creators you really like, you want to support them, ring the bell, and maybe that will get it to where it'll let you know when they're putting content up for weeks at a time. Alright, somewhere I forgot to turn in a quest. That's why we're back here. Without quest tracking or anything, apparently I will just forget stuff. Here he is. He was hiding. I couldn't even see his turn-in marker. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. That's literally all we came back here for, from what I know. Alright, Admiral's orders goes back to Orgrimmar. So maybe we should go do that before we take off back to Tirisfal Glades. My coffee is gone, and we are getting close to the time where coffee must cease for the day. So I think I'm gonna have to take a coffee break pretty soon, maybe even like a snack break. Just get some more caffeine and some more calories into me so I can keep playing. The vendor sells a pretty good two-handed axe. We might have to look at vendor weapons soon. I can't use axes yet though because I don't have any training. We either have to get to Thunderbluff or Orgrimmar, one or the other, to learn axes. And I need many more silvers. Because training weapons is going to cost at least 9, maybe 10 silvers depending on our reputation. Does Ultra trump self-found? I mean, you're still self-found. I made a self-found character, so my character is self-found no matter what. I don't think the add-on can affect anything that's actually hard-coded into the game. Yeah. No, I'm still, as far as I know, I'm still completely self-found. The buffs are still showing, so I don't think you can change stuff like that. I wonder if the add-on kind of enforces self-found in any way, or if it doesn't care. At level 14, you can do the fungal quest for a staff. Right on. We will be doing everything in the Barrens. We're going to jump back and forth between the Forsaken Zones and the Barrens stuff. In Tirisfal, we have to go into the Agamon family crypt for the warrior quest. We'll be doing that anyway. Yeah, we'll be doing it at a level that's appropriate, which means like level 14 or 15. But we will eventually be going down into that crypt because we have other quests that'll take us there too. Alan, the interface that you're looking at right now, yeah, it's basically because we are now using the Ultra Hardcore add-on, which is something that some streamers have been doing recently. People were talking about it, so I figured I would fire it up and take a look at what it was. But it changes some things. It has a bunch of options here. Right now, we're on recommended for the most part. Oh, this is good. It keeps enemies slain. It keeps track. It keeps lowest health reached is always nice to see if we've almost died, since we can't see our health at all. Yeah, it hides the map. And then I disabled a lot of our other add-ons. I disabled Questy. That way we don't have any markers on the default map. I kept Bagnon and I kept Dialogue UI. But everything else we've disabled. Yeah, also our HP. Yes, our HP doesn't show. Enemy HP doesn't show. You can't see the levels of the enemies. This Ultra HC add-on takes away a lot of information. Basically, it's trying to create a more immersive or stressful experience by depriving you of information that you otherwise always have in front of you. Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart. I feel like it's better if you're very, very, very familiar and you're just looking for something to shake things up. But if you're like less experienced with classic WoW, it's probably not a good idea to even attempt it, because it's probably going to be frustrating and a waste of time for a lot of people. But I feel like for me, I can make it work. I don't know how much it actually adds to immersion. I like not having the map stuff. The map stuff helps. I'm not constantly staring at my mini-map, and that's good. Alright, besides talking to Thrall and turning in this quest, is there anything else that we want to do in Orgrimmar? We might have to look at the weapon trainer. I mean, we don't really have money. But we're... Oh, look at that. Oh, we got a bow. We can't even use bows. Oh my gosh. Maybe I have to train bows. I mean, it would be nice to be able to pull stuff, like, out of a pack. But I'm only going to be able to train one weapon. Oh, you don't buy things. I need to find a vendor. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the gems in the bank. That's a good idea while I'm right here. Do you at least get a compass? No, you get nothing. The compass would have been on your mini-map. You don't got a mini-map, you get nothing. You have your map. Look, you have a real map, and that can tell you where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, you can still hit M, and you can still open up your map. But yeah. Alright, let's pop you in. Let's pop you in. Anything else I want to pop in here? I don't think so. I think that's good. A thrown weapon is better. I mean, thrown weapons are the same thing. I have to train them all. So, like, either way, whether I go with a bow or I go with a thrown weapon, I have to train it. I already have a bow in my inventory, so I'm just inclined to train bows. I might not train bows right now at all. I might train axes or maces or whatever else they have. I don't know. I might not do anything right now. I might sell this bow right now and just, like, wait. Is probably what I'll end up doing. Because, yeah, I think at first I'm probably going to spend my... I gotta spend my money getting, like, actual weapon skills, unfortunately. So I'm going to sell some stuff. whenever we get a decent mace or axe, then maybe I'll worry about getting it trained. I think if I'm not mistaken, we train axes in Orgrimmar and then we train maces in Thunderbluff. I think that's right.
Durotar, for the Horde. Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Alright, that is all we're going to do in Durotar for now. We're going to head back to Tirisfal Glades, and we have a bunch of stuff to do over in that direction. And eventually we will head back to Durotar, we'll finish everything up, but we're going to split these zones into 2 different visits. You have a... Oh, this is the warrior trainer for this area. Let's grab that. And let's do a little first aid. Alright, guys, I need to refill my coffee and I need to grab a quick snack, so I'm going to go AFK and do that, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. So, no quest tracking. What are we going to do next? It's been a long time since I played the game without questy. So let's see. I think maybe we go north. We can, let's see, we got Doomweed is north, Fields of Grief is to the west, Warriors are to the west. Let's go north. We can do Doomweed, Grave Robbers. Yeah, let's do that.
What would you ask of death? Beware, our enemies abound.
Mendy, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. Hope you're doing well. Well, we have at least one other player working in the area. I see lots of bodies. There we go. We have a level 7 rogue. Level 7 might be a little bit young to be here. How is ultra hardcore? It's something. There's a lot of information that I think most people would need that we simply don't get to see. I don't really know if this makes it more fun or more immersive or anything like that. But I can definitely see how it would result in more people getting killed earlier. What makes it ultra? It's an add-on. And so, I mean, if you look at the screen, you'll notice that we're missing some very important things that we would normally have in World of Warcraft. For instance, we can't see our HP. We can't see the enemy's HP. Those are the biggest things. There's other stuff going on. We don't have a mini-map. We don't have any quest tracking going on. But the biggest thing is, like, we're lacking general information about our health and about the enemy's health. We also don't know what level the enemy is. I mean, I have a good idea of what level the enemies are, because I've played a lot of Classic over the last 20 years. But we're not shown anything. This guy's stealing all my Doomweed. How dare you? I think this stuff respawns pretty quickly. If we hang out here for a minute, we might see some pop back up. Well, here we go. Let's do this. Let's see. What's the question? How are we feeling about the add-on? There we go. Have at it. If we want ways to make hardcore more immersive, but not annoying, I have ways we can do that. We could have an immersive playthrough that is more immersive and probably more dangerous without doing things like taking away the HP values. But we'll see. All the UI stuff you're seeing that's changed is part of the add-on. What you're seeing down here is not a cast bar. What you're seeing down here is my rage. Because the game is kind enough, even though they took away our health bar, you still get to have a resource bar. So with the ultra hardcore add-on, if I were a mage or a caster, this would be my mana. Since I am a warrior, this is my rage. That's why you see it filling up red as I fight, and then diminishing as I use abilities and when I'm not in combat. Yeah, the yellowish green pulse happens when you are back to full HP. And that's an option you can toggle on and off. You'd like the map to track for... Yeah. So there's a couple things that I would probably change. And there's some things that I would take away. What I would do to make the game more immersive, I would go in and I'll remove the floating names. So if we were to go into interface, ooh, not a great time to be playing with our stuff, but there's really no other place to do it and test it out. I'm missing Doomweed nodes. Not hard to believe. I'm semi-distracted. All right, so let's take a look at a couple things. Okay, they really don't want us to know our health. Okay, I would like to see my health. I got the mini map up. Find minerals is maybe it's enabled, maybe it's bugged out. It's kind of hard to say. And then what I will do to kind of balance things out. Let's see. There was a way to turn off, like, just the floating names. Always show nameplates. There we go. Okay. No, that didn't do it. I swear, when they changed the options in this game to update them to like the retail options, they broke like so many things. Yeah, because there used to be a way to turn off floating names. And it doesn't seem like there is anymore. Enable floating show front. No, see? Quest NPCs, hostile NPCs. Maybe it was this. Oh yeah, there you go. And now you have no enemy names. And to me, that's a lot more immersive. Is there a way we can get our health back? Because I'd love to see my own health. Hide player frame. Okay, let's take that off. Okay, here we go. I think what I did, turning off the names, makes it more dangerous than really anything the add-on did besides hiding your health. Obviously, hiding the player health and hiding the enemy level is going to screw over people who are not familiar with the game. But I think what I did by turning off the floating names, I made the game dangerous for anybody. Even people who are super familiar with the game, who are good at playing, like turning off the floating names makes the game dangerous. So, and I feel like that's a better thing for immersion than anything the add-on did. I think obviously things like playing without questy, that adds to immersion. Having a map that's covered up adds to immersion. You know, we don't see any markers on the map, and I feel like that's good. The mini-map only really being useful for like mining nodes, I think that's also good. I think that taking away the mini-map hurts professions too much. So I don't think I agree with taking away the mini-map for immersion, just because of how much it can impact professions. And again, the numbers are gone though. Yeah, and still the numbers are gone. Right, exactly. I don't know really it must be the add-on affecting the numbers. And people hate it. I think people hate it, Alan, because some of the things it does don't really add to immersion. I don't think that hiding all the HP values in a video game is necessarily good, immersion or otherwise. I almost feel like hiding the enemy's health is okay, but maybe keeping your health. So maybe we could try that. I do feel like maybe hiding, because to me it doesn't matter. I kind of know how long it's going to take to kill most enemies. But maybe something like that, like, let's see. I don't even know where that would be at. Show full health indicator. We don't need the full health indicator if we can see our health. We don't need the daze effect. I don't really need the custom buff frame. There we go, let's try that. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like knowing how much HP I have, because why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I know how much HP I have? But then not knowing how much HP the enemy has. I feel like that's a really good balance. I think I'm gonna roll like this for a little bit. I'm gonna leave quest tracking off, no quest tracking. I'm gonna leave the mini-map on, because I want to see my mining nodes. Oh, we gotta get out of here. We just have to book it. Yeah, let's get into some open area here and drop these guys. My dogs are upstairs going crazy because my dogs are kind of awful. Trying not to let it distract me too much. Alright, so what do we need? Is it more immersive to have to go into my quest log to check what I need? I don't know if it is. Yeah, I don't know. We need stuff. We need stuff and we need guys. How many dogs do I have? Just 2. I have one big one that's awful and one little one that's good. It's a pretty good balance. Yeah, I kind of hate having to use the quest log like this, though. We are doing a new plague. Nope, that's not it. Mills overrun. That's not it. Chill of death. That's not it. Okay, we're done. That's why we're done. Okay, let's get out of here.
This better be good.
Am I gonna dual wield on this one? No, I've done a lot of dual wielding recently. This is gonna be an arms warrior. I enjoy arms, and we're gonna go back to arms on this one. I did Fury on the human warrior, I did Fury on the Night Elf warrior, so yeah. Alright, Grave Robbers is complete. This one goes somewhere up in town here. Here we go.
I am forsaken. Remember, patience, discipline.
Forsaken duties. I need a fresh report from our Death Guard way station to the east. I must know if more Scourge forces have slipped past the bulwark into Tirisfal. Our vigilance on the border to the Plaguelands must be maintained. We can't let the Scourge get a stronger foothold here. Travel south along the road, then east to the fork at the way station. And Bether Ice Shard, a high-ranking and powerful mage in the Undercity to the south, commands me to send him an agent with proven worth against the Scourge. You will be that agent. Present these orders to Bethor. He will then instruct you on your mission. He wants us to go to an island to talk to a guy. I don't always do that quest. Let's head all the way out to the west and do the Tirisfal Pumpkins. We can do the Scarlet Warriors while we're out there. Let's do this first, though. Let's grab this last item we need and get this one turned in.
What now? Watch your back.
Hello? Dark Lady, watch over you. What do you require? Goodbye.
Oh, you know what? I don't think we ever spent our talent point. We did not. Alright, so we could go right into Improved Rend, or we could go into Improved Heroic Strike. I think right away I'm going to go into the Bleed. Increasing our parry chance is also not a bad idea when it comes to playing hardcore. But I think I'm going to go here, because eventually we're going to want to go into Deep Wounds. Andy, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying the recorded stuff. Thanks for that, and thanks for hanging out with us here today. Oh, you know what I noticed? Yeah. I noticed that if the tooltip is on, then I can see their health. That's why there's an option to turn off the tooltip. Oh, now I gotta find that option. Show crit. Hide player frame. I swear, like, I see... Here it is. Hide tooltip. There we go. Dan, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time. Take care. Alright, there we go. Now I have no tooltip. I can't cheat by hovering over the mob. No cheating allowed. Yeah, we're doing ultra hardcore light. If that makes any sense. We're doing ultra hardcore with some of the ultra stuff. I've taken it upon myself to turn off floating nameplates. And I think floating nameplates is much more impactful for difficulty and immersion than anything that the add-on does. So I've given us back the mini-map, I've given us back our player health, and I've taken away floating nameplates on NPCs. So like, these are enemies here, but you know, you gotta look at the world and you have to actually see the enemy, because until we click them, they have no floating name. But for mining, I kind of need to have the mini-map to do mining, and I want to see my player health because we're playing a video game. And it's hard enough as it is, so I really would like to see my own HP. I don't need to see anything about the mobs, but I do need to see my own HP, so... We made some slight adjustments. I need to find an ore to verify that it's working. Yeah, that's a good, it does look kind of bugged out. And clicking it and re-clicking it doesn't really seem to do much, right? Yeah. It would be nice to get eyes on an ore to see if the tracking's actually working. I don't think we have yet. Since we've turned the mini-map back on, I don't think we've come across any ore. We need one more warrior. And then we can head back to town. That is 10 out of 10. So for the ultra hardcore add-on, 28% of you like it, 33% of you hate it, and 38% of you could take it or leave it. Those are some pretty telling numbers. It seems like a very small percentage of people actually like it. What do I mean my dogs are awful? What I mean is that you're back in the past, buddy. I think you must be like 15 minutes back in the past. Andres, and when you hear this, you'll know that you are in fact in the past. And I think I meant exactly what I said. It's a new add-on that's apparently something that WoW streamers have been doing out of boredom with WoW. People have been playing hardcore with this thing called the Ultra Hardcore add-on. And it just has some more options to make the game more challenging and to hide more information from you. So we're using some of the options. And I've gone ahead and I've turned off the floating names. You'll notice that as you look out into the field, you're not seeing names for any of the NPCs. Because I have disabled those. That's not part of the add-on. That's something I did. I gave us our mini-map back. The add-on hides the mini-map and it hides our health. So I gave us those back. We still don't get to see the enemy health, which is interesting. We have no quest tracking. I kind of like it how we have it. I like using some of the options, but I think hiding the player health takes it a little bit too far. And I think having the mini-map I think is essential if you're going to do blacksmithing, if you're mining and you're herbing. I feel like your mini-map is kind of necessary. If I was doing skinning and leatherworking, then maybe I would be okay with not having the mini-map. Because it's kind of a cool idea. It also frees up some screen space. But when I need to find nodes, then I have to have a mini-map to do that. I feel like it takes away the overall spirit of the game. Too many restrictions can definitely do that. If you put too many restrictions, it definitely takes more away than it gives. That's kind of the balance. Is if you're trying to create immersion and you're trying to create something that has a little bit more challenge, you have to make sure that what you're doing is not taking away too much. Taking away stuff is an easy way to make things more challenging, but it doesn't always create fun. And I feel like a lot of the settings that they have, like a lot of this stuff will make it harder. It's not gonna make it any more fun, and I don't know if for a lot of people it's gonna help make it more immersive. Talent point, thank you. Let's put that into improved rend. There we go. Well, look at that. The tracking is working. There we go, that's confirmed. Even though the tracking looks bugged out up here, it is working. We got copper right beneath us here. I feel like that, yeah, like maybe working in some kind of visual indicator when you're close to a node could help people to compensate for not having a minimap. Yeah, I agree. There should be something to take into account mining. Mining is especially hurt by this add-on. I feel like you could be an herbalist, you could come across enough herbs, just kind of naturally exploring. But I feel like for mining, it makes it really impossible to keep up on it.
no one. Remember, patience.
Oh, we have a breadcrumb here to Silver Pine Forest.
Watch over you.
We'll definitely do that at some point.
Speak quickly. Trust no one.
Alright, looking at the quest log. This goes to the Galazin Tavern. Prodigal Lich has to go to Undercity. We have one more green quest, Mills Overrun. A new plague we could probably do soon, that's Murloc Scales from the northern part of the zone. War with the Scarlet Crusade we can do. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, we still have stuff we're going to do here, I think, before we go back to Durotar.
This had better be good.
At least one more round of questing. The 10 insignia we can collect. I think we have to go down into the basement and poison somebody. As one does. Alright, guys, I'll tell you what. I have to leave it right here for today. I am completely out of time. Part of this ultra hardcore thing is kind of inspiring. I like parts of it. I don't like other parts of it. I think next time we are going to pick up using the settings that I currently have, where we're kind of hiding the enemy HP, we're keeping our HP, and I think we'll kind of do this for a while. I like having the names off, just because the names being off does create more immersion, it does create more danger, and so we'll leave those off as well. And I will be back live on Friday. So right now I am streaming on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm trying to have recorded stuff going up on other days. So I would love to see you all on Friday. If you had a good time hanging out today, leaving a like on the VOD really does help me out a lot, especially with how weird the algorithm has been recently on YouTube. The algorithm has been punishing a lot of creators. So yeah, likes really do help. Thank you guys for the support and for being here. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.